Hello and welcome back to another video on the Tool Teardown channel. Today, after 6 months of use and abuse, we're going to do a 6-month review of our trusted Einhell Brushless Impact Driver, part of the Power Exchange power tool family of Einhell, as in their 18-volt power tool range, which, you know, the batteries work on all the tools as most major cordless tool brands. Using this tool for house renovation work in and around our house. So we built a new roof with this, we did the full living room renovation with this, we built a bedroom with this, we're currently doing a bathroom with this these days. So yeah, let's have a look inside this now somewhat bruised and used machine. It's got some scuff marks on it. I haven't cleaned it or anything, so it's if you haven't done already, check out the original video that I put up about 6 months ago on the channel, which, when we basically had this brand new, we took it apart, had a look inside. There was a few things that we've highlighted, the rough machining on the inside of this, the very little grease slash lubrication used on the anvil, the hammering impact mechanism inside. And then some sharp edges here and there. So let's have a look and see what we think of it now. So let's start by taking the battery out and move that to one side. You can pick one of these up, as mentioned in the original video, on Amazon. In the UK they are around about £80, thereabout. They fluctuate a little bit. Similar in euros, and I think they're about $90 US for those of you who want one of these in the US. German engineered, manufactured in the Republic of China. Yeah, there, it's in very small, but yeah, it's a People's Republic of China is where they are manufactured. Having it this close, you can see the scuff marks on the housing. The rubber bumper protects the front of the tool quite nicely, but because this is quite a proud surface, it sticks out quite a bit. This area expect wear on both sides of this when you lay it down, because that's where it sort of sits on, as you can see. I tend to have it upright in its battery most of the time when I'm not using it, or having it hanging off the tool belt on the side of my tool belt. If you have the solo device, this is pretty much how it comes. There's no attachments other than that the tool clip is loosely thrown into the box, so a fastener and this, you put it in on this side or on this side, whichever way you like it. If you're left-handed, you probably have it here, so you can have it on this side of your tool belt. If you're right-handed like me, you have it there. Anyway, so let's get into her, shall we? Now, because we're obviously taking my trusty old impact driver apart, which is the tool we normally use to do the tool teardowns on this channel, because it's just a handy tool. I use this thing all the time, even for drilling and stuff, because a lot of drill bits these days, they come with the attachments that just clip in place. I mean, this is a brand new, still in the wrapper, but so it's got the plastic still on it, but you know, you get the point. It's the same attachments as the impact bit, so yeah, you can use it for drilling and stuff as well, which is great in wooden houses as in what we live in. It's just that much more powerful than a normal drill. Although, having said that, the various drills that we're using these days are not bad. So anyway, I'm using my trusty old 10.8 volt Makita impact driver, which I had for years. Which is also a nice little tool to use. Plenty powerful for these sorts of applications. So yeah. So that's the cap at the end. Not a lot of dirt and dust in here. Could have been a lot worse, to be honest, especially with a lot of drywalling stuff that I've been doing, but it's okay. It's okay. You can see there's some wear and tear on the rubber overmolding, as expected, because that's what it's there for, like an impact bumper, if you like, when you drop the tool or such. Alright then, that's all the screws out. Now if you ever were to consider taking your own one apart, the screws that hold all the casings and caps and everything on, they're all the same. So that's nice and easy. And then the rubber at the front, as you can see, it's got some wear and tear on it, a little bit of like grease marks. What I did find is that after about 3 months of use, especially during the summer months, it was quite hot and I did the roof job. The front bit here started to make squeaky noises. So it was very like high pitch frequency squeaks. But yeah, this ring and there's a contact surface there that dried out and it made a horrible squeaky noise. I didn't want the aluminium, because this is aluminium housing, to basically wear in. So I put a bit of WD-40 on it. Just be mindful if you ever do that. The first few impacts that you do, there's some stuff going out. So if it's on your freshly painted doors or whatever, then yeah, you might want to just drive some screws into a scrap piece of metal just to get the residue oil, the excess oil, out of the way. But yeah, right. So that's the rubber cap, all in one piece still. No real, apart from some dust, which we clean up nicely. Nothing wrong with that. Like I say, you can see some of the wear marks. This is a painted aluminium piece. So yeah, I dropped it by accident, you know, so you end up damaging some of this stuff over time, over use. Right. So this is the cap that holds basically the brushless motor, the back end together. Without it, the motor is not supported, so it's smashing into the brushless motor housing as such. So these are quite long. Whoa. Yeah. So that's that, and this baby just pops out. Yeah, nice snug fit of the clamps on the aluminium impact mechanism or housing. Come on. There we go. Right, there we have it. 6 months later. Obviously some dust. Some dirt build-up in the expected places. In the front there, some drywall dust, some sawdust there. The vents are quite large, so expect a lot of debris in terms of dust particles to be able to get in there. The overmolding is still in place, which is a good thing. Nothing wrong there, no cracks or anything visible, so that's good. As I said, I did drop it a few times by accident, so just going to be honest about the usage. It's a snug fit, this. I'll show you in a minute why. Okay, there we go. Basically, that peg goes in there, and then this peg sits in there, which is quite a tight squeeze. So, yeah. As you can see on this side as well, there's a little bit of rubbing there from the aluminium housing. You can see there it rubbed the paint clean off it, so there is that little bit of flex in the clam, because there isn't a lot of material in this part of the clamshell, the plastic housing of the tool, so there is quite a bit of flex, which can cause that that rubbing to happen, especially on this side because it's forced in there so much. This just sits on top of it, so that's why that side doesn't see that same wear pattern there. But yeah, it's just paint. It's silver paint that rubbed off the aluminium. So as you can see, it's just rubbed through the paint finish onto the actual aluminium there. Other than that, this side as well, there is no real issues there. It's all still in good nick. I mean, yeah, you can expect some wear on the stickers there. They're like a silver sticker with like a black finish on top, which is why on the edge there where the black's worn off, the silver is shining through. It's the problem with these stickers, they do get wonky after a couple of years of use, or in this case 6 months. Fits together quite nicely. Like I said, it's not warped, cracked, bent, so yeah, nothing wrong there. Right, so this is the cap that I was on about with the little whoa, the little spacer. We'll lose that. And the little bearing there. It's a metal shielded ball bearing, tiny one there. And then there's a little washer there as well that acts as a spacer. So don't lose that either, because it'll rattle like crazy. Right. Then we've got the anvil. As you can see, I did put some extra grease in it when I put it together. I did notice one of the comments in the original video that one of the subscribers said, oh yeah, the reason there's not a lot of oil in here is because there's no oil seals. Yes. And no, you use grease, not oil to begin with. Use a little bit. It doesn't have to be full of grease, because you generate heat, you have moving parts, they need somewhere to go. So if there's too much crap in there, then obviously it'll squirt it out. So just a little bit on this surface. The only reason I did put the extra grease in it because there was so little of it in it. What I should have done is left it as it is, so that we could have seen what it would be like, you know, without tampering with it, if you like. Having a look at the anvil, it looks alright. The surfaces are polished, but there's no cracks on it. Let me get a cloth. There's grease. Yeah, nothing wrong there. So this bad boy appears to be holding up alright. As we established in the previous video, and I can prove it again. This is not a hardened material, so you can just file an edge on there, as I just did. Which that's not a working surface, so that's alright. But yeah, expect, if you buy a tool in this price category, expect obviously some compromises to be made somewhere along the lines. So I've removed the circlip. Yeah, there's a little washer on top of it, and then expect the spring to come your way, because that's what this sleeve basically allows for you to remove the tools basically. And then there's a few little balls, 3 of them, which live in these little holes to allow for that obviously to happen, to clip in place. So these balls sit in these little grooves here holding the tool in place so it doesn't fall out. This looks, there's some light there's some, oh there, focus, there's some light wear marks there, and then there, and then equally on the other side. But yeah, this is a hardened piece, as you can hear. Not even a scratch in there, that's just the debris that's in the file that's came out. So that's good. What we can see, however, is there's some discoloring there, which is basically this bushing, which is just a metal bushing. There is not an actual bearing in there. Let's get a light on there. It's just a bronze bushing of sorts that's pressed in there. Is it bronze? Appears to be bronze. But yeah, that's basically all that is that, and then you can see some of the bushing is wearing into the is discoloured, this shaft there, because that's basically what it's supported in. The bushing is right there. It's a steel bushing pressed into an aluminium housing. As we said in the original video, there's the machining marks in here are a little bit rough, as you can see. Again, this is built at a see as well the casting there has got some bumps and humps and stuff. It's a tool manufactured at a price point, so expect things to be not as fantastic as, you know, your 400 quid, your 400 pound, euro, dollars premium expensive brand tools to be. This is a tool manufactured for the DIY home enthusiasts. This is not a pro tool used for the prosumers. The electric motor, the brushless electric motor, nice and compact unit. Some little blobs of residue there, nothing major of an issue there. The wires are all still good. Okay, then this is the electric motor in all its glory. Dust, but no wear and tear on there, as you wouldn't expect it, because there's no real contact, no moving parts as such. Bearing on the shaft here is still nice and solid, no rattles, no noises, which is good. So this is all happy days. Now the only thing that I did mention, if you watched my last video when we took a little cheap 12-volt polisher apart, is all the scuffs here on the it's very rough, as you can see in the light there. The other side it's got some markings, but not so much. That's basically the issue that I pointed out in the original video about there's some sharp edges. And this side here, this is what it is. There's some sharp edges, so when they mold this plastic shell, this clam shell, they haven't cleaned up after the fact well enough, which is why the trigger is sort of scraping along this edge, which causes obviously all this to happen. So that's obviously over yeah, longer periods of time. It is just about visible because it pokes out from underneath the clam there. So that's something they say. So Einhell, if you're watching, as an improvement point there, that might be something that, you know. Battery terminals, some wear on them. Nice and beefy battery terminals from Einhell. You can see there the wear in the terminals. Whoop! You can see there. So expect some wear on. Whoa! Expect some wear on them. They all have some wear. It's basically where the battery pins grab onto the terminals. At the end of the day, they're a copper blade that's nickel plated, so they are soft, so they will eventually wear out. But then these terminals, you can pick them up for a few quid and replace them, not too much of a problem. Solder them on, jobs are good and super simple, nothing wrong there. The electronics we can't see because they're epoxied in. Again, some people find that a good thing, other people find it a bad thing because we can't see what's in it, but on the other side it keeps the crap out as well, so you know, moisture, water and stuff can't get in there, so it can't corrode and oxidize any of the components and stuff. Let's have a look at the gear reduction. There's only one reduction, which is this planetary set here, which looks good. A little bit of grease in there, bearing is solid, no noises, so that's all good. Plastic housing, no markings on the housing as far as I can see. We don't quite know what the material is, but yeah, We can see some marks on the plastic, which is where it's basically where it sits in this aluminium housing to keep it all in place. So you get some wear marks, some rubbing marks on the plastics, which again is as expected. No big issues there. The little forwards backwards switch, minimum wear on it, so again, nothing wrong there. So yeah, I think that concludes the 6-month teardown of the tool. I'm going to put this back together now and have another look at it in 12 months, in another 6 months time, so it'll be a 1-year review then, and see how well a brushless Einhell Impact Driver works when you use it very regularly. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like what you see. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Stay well, keep safe, and we'll see you in one of my next videos. It's a bit finicky to get the spring clip back onto this assembly, because obviously the shaft wants to disappear into the housing, so I use a socket to push against the back of the shaft there, holding it with your hands while with the screwdriver trying to maneuver this little spring clip in place.